Hello, my friends. I took last week off in observance of Holy Week. A very belated Happy Easter or Resurrection Sunday to those of you who celebrate. I trust and hope that it was a great time of reflection, and just no matter what you believe, I hope you guys just had a very blessed weekend. But I am back today with my March candle empties. Yes, it's a little bit delayed because of my own little hiatus for a bit, but better late than never. I don't have a whole lot of time to film this today, as my son should be getting out of school or should be home in about 20 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and try to speed review our way through this. If there are any candles that have dedicated candle reviews, I will let you know about that. Also, if there are any candles that I talk about here that are still currently available, make sure that you check that description box down below because I will have links down there. If any of the candles that you are interested in are Kringle candles, I am a Kringle candle ambassador. I do have a code Joyful Life, which will save you an additional 15% on any purchases with them. So I just wanted to get that out there before we go ahead and dive into our empties. So because the weather was still quite chilly at the beginning of March, it was a perfect time for me to finish burning up what I would consider are more wintertime candles. If you're new here, I am a seasonal burner. I commend those of you who can just burn whatever you want, whenever you want. But as for me, there are certain fragrances that I associate with certain times of the year. So the first candle that I burned up was Kringle Candles Bavarian Christmas. This was a new release for the winter 2022-2023 collection. This was in the 3-wick 100% soy jar or vessel. This is a 14-ounce candle. There were no issues burning this at all. Flawless burn. This fragrance is one that I would describe as one that reminds me of a Christmas marketplace, like an outdoor marketplace in the Alps during, the winter time. There was like a hint of almost like a leatheriness in this, but not like a masculine leather and cognac type of fragrance. This was very much like it's a candle that reminded me of walking into, I live out in Arizona and we have like a lot of tack stores, because we've got a lot of people who live kind of like a cowboy lifestyle. And so it reminded me of walking into one of those stores where you have kind of the leather goods of like a saddle, but it also had some freshness of winter air in there. There was a little bit of like a lemon scent in there. I think that it would be a great fragrance if you are somebody that likes something maybe a little bit more conceptual in the wintertime. You don't necessarily want that traditional tree scent or overly spice like holiday scent, then I think that that would be a great candle for you to try out. Strength and throw on that one was about a good solid 7.5, I would say. And like I said, there were no burn issues with it. I'm not sure if that one will be a repurchase for me just because I enjoyed the fragrance, but it's not one that I was like absolutely clamoring to have in my collection. All right, a fragrance that I would repurchase again, and this was my first candle from the brand Lavender. This was the fragrance White Maple Bourbon. Now, I do believe that this scent is exclusively sold at Blue Mercury because last time I had checked, I don't know, which was a while ago, so it might be on there, but last time I had checked on the Lavender website, it was not on there, but it is available on the Blue Mercury website. Blue Mercury is like a beauty boutique, kind of like a smaller version of Sephora, I would say. But that candle I picked up last October, and that fragrance had a very kind of masculine, definitely a boozy note to it. So if you're somebody that does not like boozy fragrances, you would not like it. There was the sweetness of a maple and a bourbon in there. I actually really, really enjoyed that fragrance. Now, that candle, I want to say it was not like the 8-ounce size. I want to say that size may have been 5 or 6 ounces. I'm not sure. I will make sure that I note down below. Or if it's available, I will make sure that that's linked down below and you can go ahead and check it out. But that was in the smaller sized candle. I think that a lot of people, or I have seen some other people have issues with the larger sizes of Lavender candles pulling out, but mine, that size was perfect for me. The strength and throw on that one was actually pretty good. Again, another solid 7.5. I definitely burned it in my bedroom most nights. It was kind of like a not a bedroom candle, but like a nighttime candle because it was a very sexy fragrance to me. But I actually really liked that fragrance. I saved the vessel once it was done. Now, one of the things I will say is that I felt like there was still a decent amount of wax left in that candle before the wick kind of extinguished itself. So that would be the only change that I would make to that. But overall, that was a very beautiful fragrance. All right, talking about that white maple bourbon, if you liked the fragrance Black Tie from Homeworx, which was like a New Year's type of candle, it was in that kind of interesting looking, I want to say it was like a hobnail type of style jar, but it looked bubbled with a black on there. If you liked that fragrance, Black Tie, which is the other candle that I finished burning up, check out that white maple bourbon. Honestly, you guys, I think they're dupes for each other. They smell same to my nose, very, very similar. And so I would typically burn both of those at the same time. I would have one in my bedroom, one out in my living room. And the two of them combined just made my house smell really, really good. The Homeworx Black Tie, that was in a 3-wick version. I do hope that they bring it back maybe this winter because I really enjoy that fragrance. Like I said, that one and white maple bourbon from LAFCO, very, very similar to my nose. It burned pretty well for me. I would say that one was not as strong, ironically, as the LAFCO one, even though the LAFCO was a smaller vessel. I would say the Homeworx version was about a 5.5, 5 to 6, I would say. It was not super strong, although we do know that Homeworx had some issues with their 2022 pours. So hopefully moving forward, that won't be a problem. I had to take a little break in the action because I thought I heard the trash truck coming down the drive. You guys know that's not the first time this has happened to me during filming, and I needed to make sure my trash bins were out, and now I'm out of breath. But let's continue on. Blueberry Lavender Cupcake from Homeworx. This fragrance I've actually really liked. I do have a dedicated candle review on this one, so I will make sure that I link it up above if you want further information on it. What I will say is that that candle had kind of a dirty burn towards the end. You will see some of the wax residue. There's a little bit of sooting going on in there. But overall, it was a pleasant fragrance. I'm not sure that it is one that I would go ahead and repurchase. It was very pretty. Definitely more lavender in it than I would say like a blueberry cupcake type of note. If you were thinking that that would be a like a gourmand type of fragrance, I don't think so. It's more of a like a pretty lavender, slightly floral almost to my nose. So if you are interested in more on that candle, make sure you check out my review on that. Okay, a candle that was probably my best performing Homeworx candle that I have had in the last year. This was True Love. Now this was part of their new Valentine's 2023 collection. If that one is still available, last time I saw it, it was like kind of being clearanced out for $16.99. Now that one had a pour date of October 8th, 2022. The only downside to that one is that the wicks got a little bit puny, or they really slowed down the burn, I would say, on that last quarter of the wax. However, that candle, you guys, was really strong. It was a definite rose scent. So if you are somebody that loves rose fragrances, you would like that one. I have a dedicated review on that one. To be honest with you guys, I have always said that rose scents, they're usually not for me. I actually really liked that one though, and it was not headache inducing for me. However, I will say that one was extremely strong. That was a 10 out of 10 candle, and I have not given many candles that ranking. That one filled up every room of my house, no matter where I was. You know, I was burning it here in the living room. I could smell it all the way in my master bathroom. I could smell it in my kids' rooms. It was a very strong candle, but like I said, it was not one that was headache inducing. I would say still, like, caution if you have people coming into your home who are fragrance sensitive, you might want to exercise caution with that one. My candle of the year for 2022, Rosemary Lemon. I finished up one of these vessels from Kringle Candle. This is a fragrance that just, oh man, you guys, it just makes my house smell so clean. I guess that's the best way that I can put it without it smelling like pine sol or like it's not an artificial clean scent. It's just a very fresh, clean scent. Very beautiful balance of lemon and rosemary in there. I know a lot of people sometimes are thrown off by that rosemary note. Don't be afraid of it. It is absolutely stunning. If it's a fragrance that you're not so sure about, you can order it in the daylight. I do believe that it is one of Kringle Candle's more popular fragrances because I feel like they include that a lot in like when they do daylight bundles and whatnot, they'll throw that one in there. And that one has a lot of great reviews. Flawless burn on it for me. You guys know that I pretty much never have issues with a Kringle 100% soy formula, but yes, used up one of those. I have another one still going. One of my favorite fragrances that I have discovered this year was Blueberry Muffin from Kringle Candle. I do have a dedicated review on this candle. You guys, if you are looking for an authentic blueberry muffin candle, this is it. This one legitimately smells like I have blueberry muffins baking in my oven. People are actually disappointed when they walk into my house and don't find them because this candle is just so extremely authentic. It's just the warmth of that. There's nothing artificial really in that candle to my nose. Definitely smelled like fresh blueberry muffins. Oh, can you tell I'm a little bit hungry right now? Those sound really good right now. The burn on that, again, was very strong. Similar to the rosemary lemon, this blueberry muffin in this medium-sized 2-wick. I would say the strength and throw on these ones are around a 6. They're not going to be house fillers, but they are enough definitely to fill a room. In fact, they even still fill my living room pretty well, you know, and in here we have high ceilings. In my bedrooms, we have a little bit more closed concept, but definitely a fragrance that I will be repurchasing because I absolutely love that one. The next candle, I was really surprised that I burned through it so quickly, and I think that there's a reason why I got through it as quickly as I did. So this is the fragrance Donut Worry. This is from Kringle Candle. Now this large tumbler I did receive in PR from them, so thank you very much Kringle Candle for sending this to me. This candle is now also available in their new 3-wick painted jars. It's in the 100% soy formula. This fragrance to me, of course, it burned very well. In that 2-wick vessel, I would say the strength and throw of that one was about a 5 to 6. It wasn't overly strong. However, I actually think that that's kind of a good thing because the fragrance on that, I would not necessarily say that it is a donut fragrance to me. When I think of the breadiness of donuts, I definitely go towards Homeworx. I feel like they have nailed that fragrance accord. This one missed the mark in terms of it being a donut fragrance to me, but what I did smell is like that white frosting that you would have on top of a donut. Definitely that sugary, sweet frosting type of note, which I was not mad at because I found that fragrance to pair very nicely with a lot of florals. It paired well with other gourmands. It paired well with a candle that I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes. But it was a very nice mixing fragrance. It's one that enhances a lot of other candles or complements a lot of other fragrances. So I would recommend that one. If you're somebody who wants it a little bit lighter, I would probably pick it up in the 2-wick format, but if you want it a little bit stronger, you love those sweet, sweet fragrances, check it out in the new 3-wick. Wrapping up my Kringle candle empties, I actually don't have any B-roll on this one because I was planning to save the jar. It was so pretty. And then like a ninny, I put the jar in my dishwasher and it completely obliterated it. But I did not get around to a dedicated review on it, but this was a candle that I was really excited about in the new spring releases. This was the 3-wick of the Mon Amour candle. Now, we all know by now this is inspired by the Baccarat Rouge 540 fragrance. I don't own the actual perfume for that because you guys, I'm not spending $300 to $400 on a bottle of perfume. Just not going to happen for me. I do have the Dossier dupe of that, which is Ambery Saffron, and this candle smells very, very similar to that for me. It's like a blend of like a gourmand and a not fruity, like a floral. There's some musk in there. You do get a little bit of hint of caramel strands in there. It's an absolutely lovely fragrance if you have never smelled it before. Here's what I am going to say. That candle was actually very disappointing for me. I could barely smell it, you guys, which is really disappointing because the fragrance itself is beautiful. I thought having it in the 3-wick format that it would just, fill my whole house up. It didn't, you guys. Strength and throw on that one was about a 3. I'm not even kidding. I had it in my bedroom and I could barely smell it in there, which is typically where I will put candles. If I initially always test them out in my living room, and then if they're not very strong in my living room, then I move them into my bedroom to see maybe if I can smell them a little bit more. But I did not have much success with the Mon Amour candle. I do know that Melanie, Mr. Khan's mom, has a prototype in a 4-wick of that. So maybe they will be looking into that a little bit more. But yeah, that one was really disappointing for me because I was wanting so much more strength out of that one. All right, and then wrapping up this empties video, we're going to talk about 3 Bath & Body Works candles that I finished up. So I did finish up Sweet Carrot Cake. Now, as I'm talking about these right now, you guys, I can't remember if I have B-roll on a couple of these candles because it's spring cleaning time and I might have just gotten too excited to clean things out. So I'm trying to remember if I have B-roll of these. If not, I'll make sure that I include a picture up here. But Sweet Carrot Cake from Bath & Body Works. I really liked this fragrance, particularly in the mornings. It didn't really smell like a carrot cake to my nose. It was more of like a spice cake note. That was a candle that I really enjoyed pairing with that Kringle Donut Worry because the Donut Worry had that sweet frosting note, and I felt like it really complemented the carrot cake note of that candle. If you happen to find any more of them in store, I would definitely pick it up because that one did burn very well for me. Actually, all the way down, it burned well. Strength and throw on that was a good solid 8. I didn't really have any issues. It didn't develop puny wicks on me. So that was a candle that I gave 2 thumbs up to if you can happen to find it in any of your stores. I know that we're outside of Easter now, so I don't know, there might be some left over in Bath & Body Works stores, or maybe if you have that one in your collection, you got a good one. All right, Pink Lavender and Espresso. This is another candle that I do have a dedicated candle review on. I really like this fragrance. It's a mix of warmth, but a little bit of that floral of lavender in there. I'm not somebody who really overly likes coffee scents, but I really enjoyed this one. I felt like it was perfectly balanced out. That one did burn pretty well for me about 2/3 of the way down, and then about that last third, it did start to burn dirty, it got sooty. The burn slowed down, kind of developed those typical puny wicks that Bath & Body Works is kind of known for. So into the CROCK it went. However, when it was burning, it was a very solid 8. Again, in the performance, strength and throw, I could smell it all throughout my house. I enjoyed burning that one in the morning or also in the evening. I felt like it was just a very nice candle. It lent a very warm and cozy vibe to my home. And the final candle that I burned up this month was Vanilla and Musk. So this candle and the, what's the other one? The Pink Lavender and Espresso. Spoiler alert, I did purchase backups of because I really like the fragrance blends. I was a big fan of this White Barn, I think it's called like their Neutral Blends collection. Don't quote me on that. But I was a pretty big fan of this. Now I do believe that this, when it was initially test launched, it was named Marshmallow and Musk. I do have a dedicated review on this candle as well. Similar to the Pink Lavender and Espresso, it burned very well for me until about the last quarter of the wax, and then it started to develop puny wicks. It started to scorch on the sides, started to get some sooting going on, and so once that happens with my candles, into the CROCK they go, and I still got quite a bit of fragrance out of it. That candle, the interesting thing about that candle is that when I initially lit it for like the first burn, it was not very strong, but I felt like that candle, the more I burned it, the stronger it got. So if you have that one in your collection and you've heard from other people like, oh, it's really light, burn it a few times before you really pass judgment on it because, yeah, the first burn on it, I was a little bit disappointed because it was only like at a 5, but by the time I was done burning it, it was a good, I wouldn't say it was as strong as Pink Lavender and Espresso and the Carrot Cake. I would give that one more of like a 6.5, 7. But when I initially lit it, it was, like I said, like 4 to 5. So it did increase slightly in strength and throw. Let me know in the comment box down below, did you burn through any of these candles? What are your thoughts on candle empties? I know that we all try to do dedicated reviews and I do hauls, but I really enjoy doing these empties videos because I feel like They give you probably the most complete review of a candle. The dedicated ones are nice, yes, to go over the fragrance notes and to go over how a candle is burning halfway through. But really, we know the best reviews are when we have completely used up a product. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out. If you're coming across my channel for the first time and you want to stick around, please hit that subscribe button. I like to talk about home fragrance, a little bit of beauty. Like I said, I do hauls, I do empties, I do dedicated reviews. I also have a weekly series called the Saturday Six, where I talk about 3 candles and 3 beauty products that I've been using throughout the week and just give you guys some feedback. So if that's stuff that you'd like to stick around for, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. I want to say thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next video, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.